told you before, we need to wait for Niles.
Your arrival could not be more timely. After the events of Paradise Island, I could think of no one more suited to conduct a surgical strike of this nature. I'm, glad to see you again as well, Niles.
Gotta say you had me worried. The message you sent sounded serious.
Then I composed it accurately. To the task at hand. We are standing before the tomb of the matriarch. Few are invited to tour its halls, and even fewer know of its greatest secret. For any subject, visiting the matriarch and First Sovereign's resting place is the pinnacle of empty social achievement. But the tomb's corpses are its least important feature. The intelligence my friends risked all to acquire revealed a vault in its lowest level containing the matriarch's body of work, hidden from the public. Who knows what technologies the Protectorate is withholding? If the matriarch was the genius she's purported to be, the skip drive cannot be the entirety of her inventions.
Doubtable. Any breakthroughs in weaponry would have been assigned to the front, despite the obvious blasphemy of defacing the matriarch's grave.
Whatever technological advancements may be sequestered here, the goal is almost certainly to keep the populace of Arcadia subservient to the pernicious whims of its governing body. But not for much longer. We are going to liberate any and all of the matriarch's research, whatever it may be, and distribute it to the people. Reaching the vault will be no simple task. There are likely to be unforeseen security measures to contend with, though hopefully nothing too obstructive. We must first gain entry to the security room, however. Once there, I should be able to access more information about the lower level's layout and potential hazards. They'll be taking up strategic positions to guard the entrance and watching for any stray Protectorate patrols. We'll move more swiftly in fewer numbers.
I can see a half-dozen points of failure, but bad odds ain't ever stopped us before.
Glad we're operating under the same understanding. We're unlikely to have another chance like this. We must follow through now that we've made the opening. Which also means, once inside, we cannot leave until it's done. Must you? We are on the precipice here, and I shouldn't have to tell you what awaits us if we fail. Have you finished your procrastinations? Let's not delay then. After you. Stay close and keep silent. The less attention we draw, the better. By the matriarch, there weren't supposed to be visitors today. That Sentinel and Docent are gonna put splinters in our plan if they're not dealt with.
You hang back here. The commander and I'll take care of this.
Gladly. I'll rejoin you once the path is clear.
Whoa, to have the matriarch taken from us before her time.
Ready to take the heat off you, Commander. Just say when.
Your vitals look grim, Commander.
I am loath to admit
I require medical assistance. You have my thanks and my hammer.
Never again will we see her equal.
It has been 10 minutes. Perhaps you would like to view the rest of the exhibition hall?
prosecuted!
Face of element.
Sheriff, you can continue. Wait there. I'll come to you.
All handled. My turn. There should...
Safeguarding the matriarch's remains from the council?
There. We can access the lower level now.
The security room that we need should be able to disable that energy barrier from there.
Who goes? No one is allowed in here without the proper authorization. Ah, I see you have come armed. Intruders, then. I suppose you intend to extract my surrender through means most lurid and foul.
Damn, the head curator. I had hoped to slip in before his shift, but no matter. We cannot allow him to leave and raise the alarm. He must be dispatched, quickly.
How's that now?
Now hold on. I know we had to kill that fella with the Sentinel, but this man's unarmed. He's already surrendered.
I rather think that line has some blurry distinction.
How much of a fuss could this one fella cause, really? Come on, Zeb. No need to cut any bellies over maybes and ifs.
Please, if secrecy's your concern, you may rely upon me to be the utmost spirit of discretion. I have never betrayed a confidence in my life.
Allowing him to leave would be a grave error of mercy, one we can ill afford in this place. This man is an instrument of empire, perpetuating the tyrant's lies. And were our positions reversed, he would not hesitate to execute us, or worse, send us to mental refreshment.
I'm kin to the risks, Zeb.
Are you? Can you even fathom the indignity of having your every thought scrutinized and scored and made perfect? My sister was made into a shadow. I endured daily sessions with the lathe of particularity and still find myself policing my own mind for untoward proclivities and inclinations.
The commander's right. This man didn't put you in the lathe, Zeb. He's just trapped in the system, same as everyone else.
I never have possessed immunity against your pleading. Fine, you're free to leave. Do not repay this kindness with treachery.
You are merciful and wise. I will depart at once.
Let's hope the consequences of this decision do not assert themselves while we're still here. You and Niall should turn off the power to the security barrier and make your way to the vault. I'll remain here and guide you as best I can through the labyrinth. No turning back now.
No going back from here. Not until we've done what we came here to.
Hold! Don't set foot in that room. The schematics on this console indicate this place is defended by all manner of traps. One moment. Yes. It appears there are N-ray tripwires, invisible to the naked eye, that will electrify the floors if crossed. Move cautiously. And if you have any gadgets that might...
In spite of substantial efforts to prolong his life, my father's condition continues to deteriorate, both physically and mentally. It has been difficult to observe. His latest effort would see him entombed within an automechanical body. I objected, of course, to my father becoming some chimera of machine.
Over here, Commander. Reckon I found something that might be useful
Now the
later.
order informs me that, far from being a panacea, this attempt has exacted a toll on my father that is likely to finish what time and disease have already begun. I may soon be sovereign.
Have a look, Commander. With a little elbow grease and some inadvisable engineering, reckon I can finagle these components into a fine explosive gel. Who knows? Could come in handy. Just doing my part. But thanks for the vote of confidence, Commander. Let's keep on. I'll continue tinkering on this in the meantime, see what I can come up with.
You've made it through. Good. Now there should be 3 switches in this room. I'm holding the correct tool. Damn it.
Commander, stop dying at once!
Got a distraction for you. I'm the one you need to worry about.
Wires installed, which may correspond with each switch. Perhaps that'll be useful. The code I originally supplied can still be relied upon. 132. Puzzle, but I apologize for my lack of preparedness. That vault door is quite the obstruction. Fortunately, there should be a code. No. Fuck! They changed it recently. That shouldn't have happened until next week. I'm certain I can diagnose the issue. Now that you've cleared the way, I'll come down and join you.
I might have some.
Something else that can get you into that vault, Commander. Zeb seem a little off to you, Commander? Appreciate you showing him a little grace, all things considered. That business with the curator. I'm glad Zeb stood down, but it was close. Never seen him so eager for bloodletting before. He's changed. Ain't sure for the better. I'll be damned if I go down the same path as DeVries. Some ideals are worth fighting to keep, even if it means taking the long way round to winning. Well, no use stewing. We've still got a vault to break into and tyrannical government to topple. Speaking of, remember those components I found? I was able to turn them into something halfway useful after all. This gel should get us through that vault door. Turns out you were right about trusting my instincts. You take the honors, Commander. I'll be right behind you.
Not careful. I was hoping for a more subtle incursion, but no matter.
Am I running hot, or was that a hint of worry I heard in your voice back there?
Alas, I neglected to pack a thermometer.
This terminal should allow me to retrieve all the information stored here. This cannot be right. There's nothing here save the designs for the skip drive. Not even initial concepts. 10 years in Arcadia and the matriarch invented nothing? And what's this about a deal with the Earth Directorate? We need to talk. Now. I knew the Protectorate festered with lies, but I had no idea the Earth Directorate was complicit. Niles, did you know?
Slow up, Zeb. What are you talking about?
It says your agency struck an agreement with the matriarch over a century ago. In exchange for skip drives, Arcadia was allowed to completely govern itself with absolutely no outside interference, including from the Earth Directorate.
Must be why the chief said we'd be on our own if we were caught. We were breaking the terms of this agreement. Unbelievable.
If this information is true, then the Earth Directorate permitted the matriarch to create a colony filled with her vassals, enslaved to her will. Everything Arcadia is, all of the suffering that's taken place here, it all could have been avoided. Things could have been different. There's more. The skip drive schematics are here. How the explosive safeguards against tampering work, its evolution over time. But no original concepts, no sketches. Nothing. Our dear matriarch is a fraud, a cheat. She did not invent the skip drive. There are messages here between her and the First Sovereign that all but confirm it.
Rather a convenient revelation for an enemy of all the Protectorate stands for. Pardon me if I choose to remove myself from this mad conversation.
I thought I might find some technological innovation that could be handed to the Protectorate's enemies. But this is almost better. Precisely. By releasing this information, we can thoroughly crush the image the Protectorate has been built upon. The Sovereign will be revealed as the unclothed emperor he is, and demolish Arcadia's myth of superiority. If we administer truth to the people, their strength will return. Erstwhile, giving the skip drive designs to the Protectorate's enemies will even the fight. Their technological prowess will be made into nothing. Everything will come apart.
Downsides like how the skip drives are causing rifts? Yeah, I say that's worth a fret. Not to mention how this agreement with the Protectorate will completely destroy the Earth Directorate's reputation.
I was not aware of such a connection between rifts and the skip drives. But I have confidence the Order will figure out a solution. Science is their theater after all. As for the Earth Directorate, don't you see? This frees them from any obligation to the Protectorate. They'll be able to manufacture skip drives themselves. The deal will be voided. I understand your reticence, but people should have the power and means to make choices for themselves, even unhealthy ones. Only in the Protectorate will you find an ear sympathetic to that belief.
Hey now, we're all still on the same side here, but the commander's got a point. This technology is too dangerous to leave in the hands of just anyone, Zeb.
Do you think the Protectorate stand around debating the potential for injury? No, they act, and so must we. Damn the consequences. And should I refuse to leave empty-handed? What then?
Whoa. Put the brakes on, Commander. I'm sure Zeb can be reasoned with. I know you're aiming to do the most good for the most amount of people, Zeb, but sowing chaos ain't the way.
Do you know how many of my friends died so we could reach this point? Audra sacrificed herself. And you would have me what? Give up now on the cusp of victory? Lay bare my throat for the Protectorate machine to cut?
You remember what we argued about the day before I left?
I've replayed it in my mind many times.
A lot's changed, but that hasn't. Life in Arcadia could be just like we dreamed it. But there's no future if you go through with this. Not for anyone.
Out of respect for my friend, I will forestall the release of this information and seek another avenue to help liberate the people of Arcadia. I'll remain here for a while longer to cover our tracks. The Protectorate will discover the break-in, but hopefully never learn more specifics of what we did and found.
Guess this is goodbye.
Only for now. If we both come out of this war intact, I'll find you. If you wish to be found, of course.
I want to talk it over with the commander, but yeah, maybe we can work something out.
In times of darkness, we must hold our principles dear. I fear the longer this war continues, the further we stray from them. Every step we take must honor the matriarch. I tell Henry this, but he is set in his ways. His notions regarding these rifts are sorely misguided. Why close them when we can use them to Arcadia's benefit? It matters not what the Order thinks, what the Doubters say. The Architect bestowed us with the power of skip drives so that we may secure a perfect future. We must act with haste. I only ever wished for Henry to embrace his role as the caretaker of Arcadia, the savior of us all. But if he has chosen a different path, I will do as I must. And I must not fail.
By my grandmother, I cannot abide the time this research into the rifts is taking. It has been years, and yet I am still absent, my wife and daughter. I am still half whole. The researchers swear it's possible to bring them back from the void. Perhaps those are only pretty lies intended to pacify me, but I trust Dr. Hurley to tell me the truth. I know the Consul wishes me to give up this obsession and focus on the war effort, but why should I? Am I not sovereign of Arcadia? Should my desires not take priority?
There they are! These are the ruffians who threatened me. See that they join
Lethally.
their friends in the rubble
Got the
heap.
bad company.
Suffer none of these defilers to live.
None shall stand against us! That cover spot looks much
about?
better!
Lots of stuff.
Our commander hangs from a thread! Refilling my weapon! Prepared for me, seeking cover!
Over here! Free hole in the head! Come at it!
Seeking shelter!
They did me in! Help me out!
Replenishing my firearm! You have my thanks and my hammer.
Zeb was right. Never should have let that curator go. We could have prevented this.
Commander! Oh, I see. You must have noticed a spot of dust on that artifact and taken it for cleaning. Good initiative.
The workers have returned and production has resumed. Wonderful work, our disruption ameliorator. I do wish it had gone more smoothly, but I understand you did what you must. I have already informed the Home Office, and with it, put in an extra sprinkling of mild praise directly with Auntie. She will, no doubt, be excited to learn of my approval. You may tell the executives that dispatched you that you have done an adequate job. Under my keen supervision, of course.
Welcome back. We understand you've been a very busy little manty-wasp. Well, out with it.
Yes, time is bits. Tell us how it went.
A satisfactory effort, my ameliorator. I had hopes your talents would yield a result a mite more in our favor, but good work overall.
Well, I suppose I can't argue with the truth of that.
Anything else you'd like to report? Now that's the compelling attitude we love to see in an ameliorator. Your performance at that facility went exceedingly well, all things considered, and it was an ideal first step in effecting my monopolistic mercantile methodology plan.
There you go again, pinning your career to that flim-flam mathematical malarkey. What do a bunch of eggheads know about marketing? Marketing isn't some rigmarole you can plug into a computronic doodad. It's instinct, intuition, know-how. It's a fucking art. Damn right. Of course. We're Auntie's choice. We know what motivates people better than they do. Real marketing is gut-driven. It's not something you think about. It's something you feel. That is, convince someone to feel.
It is an intricately crafted, multi-phase marketing initiative that will introduce Auntie's choice to the rest of the galaxy and establish the foothold of our pending monopoly. It requires a series of daring, almost impossibly savvy, perfectly timed, and flawlessly executed stratagems to create optimal market positioning.
Whole thing's a load of bunco. Calculatory claptrap from a bunch of over-educated know-nothings who are so smart they're stupid. Go ahead. Tell them who devised it.
With pleasure! The archive on Cloister analyzed millions of variables with bazillions of permutations to create an idealized path for total competitive domination. Yes, suppose we should move on. Ursula, will you do the honors?
I'm the head of our proprietary insight acquisition division. Stealing our rivals' trade secrets? That's our bread and butter. We can sometimes lack a certain subtlety, though. The Protectorate have a process called mental refreshment. Some kind of mind manipulation business. There's a facility for it on Praetor. Auntie wants details on their methodology, pharmacology, and technology. This archive plan says it's important? Fine. Auntie and I agree it presents possibilities. Actually, it's only 3. Surely you can handle twice that many tasks. I don't want to sound like the Order, but you could make a list, maybe. A few aspirational goals, if possible. If you see a chance to talk their lead scientist into joining us, and/or dig up additional details about the process, do so.
Which is to say, we'll make it more worth your while. I promise you'll never want for compensation while in our employ.
See you when it's done.
Ain't a chance we're getting through this. We want to get to the lab, we ought to find a path around.
Thankfully, we've options. I recall a secret passage in the tomb of the matriarch that will see us around the blockade.
Auntie's Choice has set up shop somewhere to our south. We pay him a visit, they may just help us reach the lab.
I now present to you my new invention, the skip drive. A revolutionary technology that will allow humanity to sojourn to the stars.
Only a singular mind could have conceived of such advanced technology.
It is my deepest wish to entrust the skip drive to those brave visionaries willing to follow me into a most prosperous future.
Yes, so wise matriarch, lead us into this future you have envisioned.
Set course for Arcadia. In my new colony, we will abandon the illness of corporatism. None will suffer for the pleasure of unseen overlords. And all will thrive. Everything in accordance with the grand paradigm.
Rough customers. Got my lamps on a hostage.
Thinking never made anybody happy.
Who's that?
Dude.
Aborting search.
This paradigm we serve supplies all we deserve.
I believe what we need is on that terminal. I'll see if I can find my way in. The terminal's locked, which is no surprise. See if you can find some method to bypass its passcode. Did you hear that? I think something may have unlocked. You must finish reading through that terminal. The elevator's been summoned from below. Someone's come...
Consul Thoreau, I'm sure you're surprised to be receiving this message, and thus I can assume you already know my intent. Even considering aligning myself against the Sovereign is like sticking my hand in boiling oil. Yet my dead charges spur me forward. 10 scores of Arcadia's finest, at least 10 scores, died in defense of Golden Ridge. And does the region lie in our control? No. We fled like sprats, all at Varric's behest. I shall lower myself to work with you, Consul. I will help you uphold your plan to... Hold... What in blazes? How long have you been standing there? What did you hear?
I cannot believe what I heard. I cannot. Actually, it wasn't. Perhaps at first, until I discerned her true intentions. My mentor hated the Consul and was deeply devoted to the Sovereign. She'd never speak thus, unless she was trying to lure the Consul into a trap.
Rao, you really ought to have a sit-down. Were this anyone except your mentor, you'd see this for what it is.
What I'm proposing is eminently plausible. It may be beyond you to see her machinations, but it's obvious to me that this was merely an intricate play. It's all that makes sense. It's not obvious to me. You didn't know her. Wait, do you hear that?
Arbiter Rao, I finally got you. Submit quietly to the Protectorate's justice for your manifold transgressions.
Are you insane? Who are you? And on whose authority do you claim to judge me?
My name is Junior Arbiter Mayhall, and I operate on Arbiter Mandate, as you did once. Now, no questions. This is already going to be difficult enough. You were indeed. If you thought your trail might be obfuscated by hiding amidst mercenaries, you were sorely mistaken, Arbiter Rao.
Enough. This has been an unpleasant day, and my patience is gone. Your accusations are baseless, and accosting a higher-ranked arbiter is grounds for arbitration.
They're far from baseless. You stand accused of abandoning your post, of infiltrating Protectorate facilities with opaque aims, and of hampering the Protectorate war effort. How dare you? I may be a junior arbiter, but I'm not going to let someone that is a high-ranking arbiter get away with desertion. I heard that Arbiter Rao had left his post without leave some time ago, and chose to track him down myself. Following the trail has not been a simple matter, but I did not let that deter me.
Most certainly. The acclimation period for junior arbiters to understand the extent of their powers is inherently awkward. I imagine this war has made it more so.
We junior arbiters are as capable as always, if not more so. All the war has made clear is that we must take more initiative if Arcadia is to remain unscathed. There's no discussion to be had with criminals. I needed to see firsthand that Arbiter Rao had abandoned his station. He has, and must meet my judgment.
These accusations of yours are slander. If you believe false bravado shall save you from my wrath, you're sorely mistaken. that question would have been easier prior to our traveling together. I've spared others at your behest, after all. I shall speak plainly. I would rather spare her, as her devotion to justice seems to match my own. But duty dictates I answer her accusations earnestly. As I have not done wrong, her accusations are slander, and therefore must be punished. Hardly. She could not remind me of myself, for were I in her place, I would know better than to accost my superiors. I have been taught to uphold justice by any means necessary. The junior arbiter is wrongfully accusing me, which stands in the way of my upholding justice. Her accusations are grave enough to be answered with violence. But I understand why she is making them. And her perspective, though skewed, should not merit death. I don't like thinking thus. It toes the line of traitorism. But the alternative is the judgment of one I believe to be innocent. Such an action cannot transpire.
What is this insanity? I would never imagine an arbiter balking from their chosen course. I had hoped Arbiter Rao would come to his senses, but obviously to no avail. I may not wish to judge him. I may not understand what has come over him. It is of no consequence. His crimes against the Protectorate are all that matters. But it is! Arbiters are taught to uphold their sense of duty, to judge as they see fit. Arbiter Rao has violated the laws of the Protectorate.
The Supreme Arbiter taught me to pursue justice, true justice. I have done just this in my search for her true killer. The reason I have deserted is to search for evidence leading to the true killer of the Supreme Arbiter. I know the concept of evidence is not broadly taught. The Supreme Arbiter taught me to seek out the facts of one who has committed a crime in order to better identify them, in order to avoid judging innocence. This, in turn, would allow me to do my duty more properly, and to improve society as a result. You see, I haven't deserted the Protectorate. I'm conducting my own investigation.
But by looking into her death, you go against High Command's official statement. You claim to know better than the Protectorate.
And if I am mistaken, I shall submit myself for judgment. But I have already found evidence to the contrary. All that stands between me and the true killer is you. You're no fool. I can see you understand my reasoning. All that you must decide now is if it is right to render judgment upon me. We don't know that for certain, but to an onlooker, without our knowledge, it could seem that way. And such presumed traitorousness would be very confusing.
Even the Supreme Arbiter has struggled with this? That doesn't seem possible. But I suppose there's no way to ask her now. I shall trust your words. Consider my hand stayed. I can see that judging Tristan would only rob the Protectorate of another of its servants. It seems I must reflect on this matter.
It would appear we're in agreement. Neither of us shall raise a hand against the other. I'm pleased.
Yeah, I bet he is. Just remind him that abstaining from violence ain't the same as chocolates and flowers.
So, what course of action do we take now?
I shall have a better idea of wisdom to impart once I've gotten to the bottom of everything. I fear you're not the only one reeling, Junior Arbiter.
Oh, okay. Well, if you're still confused once everything calms, perhaps you might seek me out. Together, I wonder if things might not seem so strange.
The dilemmas facing us are likely far more than two arbiters can decipher alone, unfortunately. But I suppose I'll keep that in mind. Glory to the Protectorate, Junior Arbiter.
Right. Glory to the Protectorate.
I'm pleased we were able to resolve that altercation peaceably. Robbing Arcadia of an enthusiastic recruit would have given me little joy.
Huh. You beginning to wean yourself off of eating the shoe polish? This is a good turn, Rao.
You know, I'd even venture to say she reminded me just a little of myself as a lad. All this excitement did not make me forget the confession on the Supreme Arbiter's terminal. I have to bring it to Virgil. Together, we can discover exactly what transpired. Agreed. I'm not sure of his whereabouts since last we encountered him. I'll send him a message. With luck, we'll hear from him before long.
Never more content, never more content.
Smells like paint and agitated dust. Renovations, I surmise.
Trouble ahead. Graft is ready, and frankly, pissed off.
Looking a little woozy there, Commander. Help me end this fight on my feet.
You have my thanks and my hammer.
gone astray? Book a stay today. Are you mentally refreshed?
Come right in, and be refreshed.
It is the duty of every protectorate subject to ensure they are operating at peak efficiency at all times. The paradigm requires it. That's why mental refreshment is so important.
The mental refreshment process increases tractability, stymies untoward. He fashions the mind into a thing of symmetry.
Are you ready to realign with the paradigm? To shed all manner of imperfect thoughts?
All it takes is some light instruction, a restorative cocktail,
And a quick dip into the lathe of particularity to abrade your imperfections.
I'm Head Refresher Gould, and I guarantee when you exit our doors,
You'll be a productive member of our perfect society again. Soon you'll say,
goodbye, imperfect thoughts, hello, contentment.
I don't know what in the void we just got hosed down with, but it's, kinda nice.
Greetings, subject. Or should I say, refreshed to be.
Prudence dictates.
Welcome to the Wellnetarium. You're not on my schedule. A walk-in, then. Wonderful. Once you're properly evaluated, we'll have you well on your way to refreshment.
I think a few bulbs burned out and this one's upstairs. Play along. We should be able to get past.
Oh, you appear to have questions. A telltale sign of needing refreshment. Why, of course. Naturally. It is the duty of every subject to submit for a quick mental tune-up whenever we experience imperfect thoughts or lack a little zeal. Head Refresher Gould says mental refreshment increases tractability, stifles undue agitation, stymies untoward inclinations, and refashions the mind into a thing of symmetry. I've undergone the procedure myself, several times they say, and look at me now, never more content. Simply step over to my automechanical colleague to my left, / you're right, and it will begin your assessment.
Greetings, subject unscheduled. Welcome to Placid Waters Wellnetarium. Evaluation commencing. Subjects are required to respond 100% accurately to all queries. Bespoke prescribed regimens may produce untoward ramifications if baseline data is greater than minutely erroneous. Query 1. Concisely characterize your personal perspective. Incorrect. The accepted answer is, I fulfill my duty to the Sovereign as a loyal protectorate subject by operating at peak efficacy, without error, perpetually, each a vital cog. Query 2. Rate your present level of zealous efficaciousness on a scale of 1 to 5. 5 being the highest, 3 being a traitor, 1 being dead. Incorrect. Wait, processing. That was correct. No subject has ever answered that query accurately before to date. The degree of zealous efficaciousness expected of a dutiful and true subject of the Protectorate is beyond measure. Query 3. Do you ever fall prey to imperfect thoughts, including, but not limited to, doubt, disbelief, uncertainty, curiosity, recalcitrance, and mischief? Unacceptable. A perfect society demands perfect thoughts. Imperfection is impossible when the mind is a thing of symmetry. Final query. How would your neighbors describe you? Unsatisfactory response. The appropriate reply was They never questioned, never doubted. Their zeal never lagged. Formulating conclusion. Phrenometric matrix delineated. Subject evaluation score total 200 out of 200. The acceptable amount for a true and dutiful protectorate subject is 0. In conclusion, you are in dire need of mental refreshment. Now, proceed to the nearby pneumatic tube to collect your complimentary unitard and lift pass. Next, proceed one floor down, where you will be directed further. Your realignment with the paradigm begins now.
While there are many mental refreshment facilities to be found throughout Arcadia, Placid Waters Wellnetarium here on Praetor is uniquely special.
It is personally overseen by head refresher
To deliberate is to court ruin.
responsible for making the mental refreshment process more refreshing than ever.
Wonder what it says about us that we got mistaken for patients.
Greetings, new person. You have a look of query about you. I have answers to questions and no questions to answer. Hello, my name is Abigail, and I am realigned with the paradigm. Head Refresher Gould says his recorded lectures are key to thinking approved thoughts. He tells us what to think and what thoughts are unsanctioned. It's also very helpful. That, a restorative cocktail of pharmaceuticals, and a quick dip into the lathe of particularity device can abrade all imperfections. Only internally, I'm afraid. You should speak to Refreshment Facilitator Tilden in the lecture hall. Just follow the signs to the lecture hall. Refreshment is inevitable. You can't fight contentment.
Medicament dispensement has concluded for today. Please proceed to the lecture hall to request an exception.
Settle down, everyone. Lecture's playing. Prepare to be edified.
For today's topic, we'll touch on why our program is so very important. Ignorant, misguided outsiders may wonder, why does the Protectorate need mental refreshment? Doesn't it inhibit personal freedom? Yet this freedom they celebrate is a yawning chaos, and their choice is an invitation to failure, loss, and anarchy. It is a sad fact that all human beings require direction. As my good friend the Consul would say, at its base, humanity unguided is cravenly, inept, and slothful. We of the Protectorate are not, because we do not allow ourselves to be. The paradigm charts our course, gives us purpose. The Consul is the firm hand that guides us. Mental refreshment keeps us on task, free from doubt, efficient, perfect. And thus we enjoy amity, luxury, and resplendence. The system provides, the system abides.
What a splendid lecture. At least, I'm sure it was. I began thinking about the rocks in my boots halfway through.
We must all fulfill our duty to the Protect together.
They never questioned, they never doubted. Their zeal never lacked.
Greeting, unscheduled walk-in. On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the highest, 1 being the lowest, how mentally refreshed are you feeling today? Noting dire self-diagnosis and ably displaying concern. my word. Inform the nearest refreshment facilitator without delay to book you a session in the Lathe of Particularity today. I am responsible for providing each subject with their recommended daily dosage of reprioritrin. Medicament dispensement has concluded for the day. Response. Medicaments are stored in medicament storage, the office in which this unit presently operates. Yet, it is strictly off-limits to all non-refreshment facilitator personnel. Farewell statement. May refreshment soon render you free from doubt. A vital cog once more.
Oh, a new face. Well, I'd welcome you to the Wellnetarium, but the designated subject reader ought to have attended to that by now. I was once a victim of imperfect thoughts. Oh, I had so many questions. But my questioning days are long gone. Admitting you question is the first step in your recovery. But worry not. Soon enough, with our help and a little work, you'll never question again. Questions are an unmistakable sign of worry, disquietment, and worst yet, rumination. Once the mind is a thing of symmetry, vexatious agitatements simply waft away. As every loyal and dutiful protectorate subject knows, thinking is best left to our betters. You've missed the daily medicament dispensement, if that's what you mean. But you should take that up with the medicament dispensement automech directly. I see you found the lecture as edifying as all the others here. Good, good. Collective cognitive compliance is a key part of the prescribed curative regimen. Head Refresher Gould provides us with daily lectures in audio cartridge form to steer group thinking. As they say, to think together is to together thrive. Upstairs in the audiovisual aids office, of course. Though that area is off limits to all subjects not a part of facility staff or security. How very interesting. Here, take my pass then. It grants access to all mid-privilege priority areas. You'll feel ever so much better once your phrenometric peaks have been abraded.
Like stealing compost from a breadworm. Almost feel a little bad about it.
Typically, I do not view mental refreshment firsthand. Its effects on an individual's spirit of inquiry are most deleterious.
Trouble ahead.
Reporting is so neighborly, suspicion rightly so.
Aborting search!
Wait. I was led to believe my case required minimal treatment. But that last session, that was far more intensive. Strong observation, Your Sublime Radiance. We set the lathe to the maximal abradement setting, per instructions. Maximal? Who authorized you to use that setting? I demand the name of my betrayer! Subject is exhibiting increased agitation upon exiting the lathe, consistent with extreme cases. Further abradement recommended. Who are you speaking to? Are you recording this? Enough of this farce! Release me at once!
The sovereign provides, the system abides. A perfect society demands perfect thoughts. Imperfection is impossible when the mind is a thing of symmetry. Help you with something? Huh. That was certainly asinine.
Raft's back in business.
All times. Unctuous ne'er-do-wells!
Represents the worst impulses of old corporations, who unfairly stacked the deck against the little water as they tried with us in Tau City. But did any Spacers choice media shenanigans lying down? No!
I cleaved Spacers. Out of the 56th inning, then made a Sunday. Always remember, commercialism is the foundation that Auntie's Choice Society is based upon. Not because we worship bits, but because of the system's glorious efficacy. While the Protectorate decide what its subjects get, we respond to what you want through your decisions as consumers. What's more, we skip the frivolously lengthy approval process our overbearing neighbors employ. Why wait 20 years to bring a new product to market when it can be enhancing people's lives now?
As a responsible member of society, allow you to take part in public product testing. Respecting your right to risk a few pesky side effects as an early adopter. At Auntie's Choice, we understand.
I see you're back from the Protectorate's little mind manipulation spa. All their secrets in hand, yes?
Our team at Proprietary Insight Acquisition has been salivating over the potential commercial applications of that process. Really? Thought you had more drive, but suppose that's fine.
I, for one, care little for the completion of stretch goals. You managed to avoid being mentally refreshed. That demonstrates considerable pluck and fortitude.
Now, I assume you won't mind we have a few questions about the process. Our people will extract details about the pharmacology and methodology. That will all no doubt prove useful, but we're most interested in the technology and its results. Can't say I like the sound of that. Seems like they'd be difficult to market to.
How truly unfortunate. Those without desire or drive make terrible customers. They could barely even be considered consumers at all.
What else can you tell us about the place? Turn up any additional details? Anything especially marketable? Oh, good to know, good to know. Excellent. Well, here's your reward, along with something extra for your effort. Too bad about the lead scientist. Converting him would have earned you an above-average payout. All right. For your next assignment, well, it's something of an organizational priority.
Congratulations! Your storied success has earned you a whole entire minute with our illustrious leader, Auntie Cleo!
So your preliminary chores are complete. Oh, finally a contractor with a little backbone. Normally they flee or expire, leaving the work woefully incomplete. Ah, I remember you from before. Fairfield, yes? Tell me, as an outside agent, do you have any quandaries working with our organization? Well, I appreciate the clarity, if not the lack of guile. For now, I suppose we'll remain uncomfortable bedfellows, if not ideological fellow travelers. Do hope you'll forgive these two. They're competing for a rather significant promotion, you see. It tends to make employees fractious, like young ursopods cooped up in the den. So, you've been advancing a fairly radical idea with a group that, to date, we've considered our rivals. Certain communications have even been exchanged between our ship and the Order's headquarters. You've spoken to the delegates, yes? A cessation of hostilities could present any number of potentially profitable options, assuming we could work out favorable terms. Oh, my security team would never allow it, but a call like this over a secure line should be an acceptable alternative. Of course, Ruth would also need to agree. Perhaps if you were to perform a few useful errands for the Order, you might earn a meeting with her to propose the same. Have Ruth reach out when she's ready to talk, and I'll set up a call on a secure line next door.